Hi there, I'm Tom from Nerds of the West, and today I'm giving you a Kickstarter preview of Dreamweavers. This is a game from Squanger Games, designed by Samuel Vachon with art by Alana Fleming, and today my aim is to give you all the information I can to see if this game is right for you. Dreamweavers is a super thematic game about dreams. It is a tug-of-war between two teams, and in this world, Morpheus, the orchestrator of all dreams, is starting to struggle a little bit. As the universe is filled up with animals and humans and robots and anyone who can have dreams, he can't give good dreams to them all. So he has organized for you and your friends to come and try out to be his official Dreamweavers. At the end of the game, whoever has made the best dreams will get the job. Dreamweavers can be played by 2 to 6 players, will take 60 to 90 minutes to play depending on player count, and is aimed at ages 12 and up. No matter the player count though, there are always 2 teams, Aqua and Amber, and those 2 teams are blocked in a tug of war both for the current dream and on the scoring board, because it's not who gets the most points at the end of the day, it is who has the highest lowest score. There are 2 tracks, Paradise, good dreams, and Nightmare, bad dreams, and your lowest track is the one that will score you, so you need to balance both, and you can lock out the other team by forcing the dreams to the other side. There are 2 ways for you to score points in Dreamweavers. First, there are objective cards. During the round, you can meet these objectives of certain colours of cards in certain combinations on the board for you to score those points. You will score most of your points by completing dreams for the current subject, and every subject will score you a different amount of points depending on where the token is placed when the dream is completed. So you're constantly pushing that token back and forth to try and score the points that your team needs to make sure that you're balancing the 2 different scoring tracks. Most of the action in Dreamweavers comes from playing cards into the dream pool. This is how you'll move the tracker token around, it's how you'll meet objectives, and it's how you'll lock the other players out of the game. Because when you play a card in the dream pool, it has to be inside the lines, the outer line for a 3+ game, and the inner line for a 2-player game, and has to not be touching any other cards. There are link cards that get played onto other dreams to make them a bit of a combo and get some extra effects going, but for the most part, you are having this little area control battle down here to get cards out into the game. The main reason you want to play cards out is to move the tracker token. Each different dream subject has different dreams that they like. So when they get the dreams that they like, it'll move it towards Paradise, and when they get the dreams they don't like, it moves back towards Nightmare. Chef Julia, for example, likes fulfillment, vivid, and reoccurring dreams. So if you play the vivid pink dream out, she'll move towards Paradise. But if you play a surreal dream, she'll move back towards Nightmare, which might sound a bit unfair. Nightmare is generally considered bad. However, in her case, if you complete a dream when she is in the full Nightmare state, these final 2 spaces of the board, she will get 4 points, as opposed to in the full Paradise state, she will only get 3. So you're constantly considering what cards you have in your hand, what you're able to play on the board to combo to possibly pick up objectives, and then considering where the current tug is playing towards to complete that dream and score those points. To complete a dream, you need 4 of your team's tokens in the dream pool, and most of the time you will play a token out whenever you play a dream card, so more often than not, you'll need 4 dream cards in the dream pool. So this game is all about managing these dream resources. You're managing the tokens that you have so that you can take the actions that you need to play cards out and meet objectives and eventually complete the dream, while also managing the cards in your hand, moving the tracking token in the right direction, getting the effects that you need, getting the right cards out to meet objectives, and blocking off your opponents. I really like this layer of strategy. It's not too hard. You'll usually find a place to put a card, but it does add those little bits of decision making that aren't just, oh, I've got this card that does this one thing. It's really quite nice. The last action of the game is to recharge, and you have to do that if at any point you can't take another action. So this is the way that you can get more tokens, get more cards, or discard cards that aren't doing the right thing for you. If the dream pool is ever completely full and you have a token ready to take an action, you have to complete the dream no matter what state it's at. When you complete a dream, that's not the end of the round. Each person needs to wake up before you move on to the next subject. For most people, that is 3 of these wake up tokens. However, there are light sleepers and heavy sleepers, adding that little bit of complexity. Whenever you complete a dream, you'll add a token down, but there are some cards that will add tokens down. So you're in a bit of a rush. Sometimes the enemy team will push you forward because they know you're not quite at the point you want to be yet. Each subject is also different, with different perks allowing you to get bonuses if you play certain kinds of cards, and different lucid dreaming states that can be caused by sun cards coming out, and I'll touch on them in a little bit. As much as there's all these different things going on, this game never feels rushed. Each turn you're just considering what actions you might want to take now, and in a turn's time you're managing your resources and doing the best you can while seeing where the current flow of the game is. I will say that at times it feels like the best thing for you to do is sit back and wait for the enemy team to make the first move and then capitalize on that. You're wanting to complete the dream at just the right time. So sometimes it feels like the best play isn't to keep the game moving forward, but at the end of the day you do have to, and the game will end whenever the game ends, because there's not a strict timer to this game. I mentioned the sun cards earlier. This game ends when 8 sun cards have come out. In a 2-player game, there's only 8 in the deck, and in a 3+ player game, there are 10. So barring the 10 cards that you put on top of the deck during setup to make sure that the first things you draw are useful, the sun cards coming out randomly really gives this game a nice push forward factor, a nice edge to it. And once those 6 or 7 are out, then anything could happen. You need to rush and score as many points as you can before the game ends. And because there's so many little things that can change, the subjects all having different perks, different ways they want to score, different lucid dreams, there's a lot of fun to be had in Dreamweavers as you're playing out cards and finding the right kind of combos. Cards that are going to let you draw more cards or interact with opponents' cards, clear things out of the way so you can get that objective right before them. This tug of war really comes down to finding the right things to score you points before you run out of actions, or counting up the actions and realizing that the opponent's going to get there one turn before you, so you're setting up for the next dream. There's a lot of really fun, nice little quirks between the subjects and the cards, and lots of really interesting ways that the gameplay just emerges out in front of you and lets you have a fun time. This game is lightweight but so replayable. It's really easy to pick up and really fun. And at the end of the day, that's what matters most to us here at Nerds of the West. We don't rank things based on 1 to 10 or this game is better than another. Is this game fun to play? And then we leave it up to you to decide. I think Dreamweavers is a lot of fun. Hopefully we've given you a good idea of it, but if you want to see gameplay, we here at Nerds of the West will be streaming it live on Twitch in a couple of weeks' time, or if you happen to miss that, come back, that video will be up on YouTube. The link to the Kickstarter is down below. Make sure you go and check that out if this looks good to you. And while you're there, leave us a comment, hit subscribe. Let us know anything that you want to see. It really does help us out. Lets us know if this is the kind of content that you would like to see more of in the future, and it helps us make you happy. My name's been Tom, this has been Nerds of the West, this is Dreamweavers. Have fun playing board games, and we'll catch you next time.